British scientists are set to use the world's most powerful supercomputer to create digital avatars of people to improve stroke treatment. The Frontier supercomputer in Tennessee, US, is able to perform 1 quintillion, calculations simultaneously and was this year announced as an exascale, a term given to machines that compute at this level. Now, a team led by Professor Peter Coveney, a computer scientist and chemist at University College London, has been granted time in 2023 to use the machine, which is 50 times more powerful than any computer in the UK. The goal is to use this power to create a simulation of a person's blood vessels around the body and brain to see how strokes happen, and to find ways to prevent and treat them. Professor Coveney told The Telegraph, "It is the world's biggest, fastest supercomputer." The ultra-high-end supercomputers have always been treated as something of an elite sport and it's not easy to get access to them. The machines are incredibly expensive. You can evaluate the cost of every run you do on it and it will amount in the end pretty rapidly to millions of dollars a day. Frontier will create simulations and projections, with Professor Coveney likening his work to a weather forecast for the body which is able to predict how and when things will happen. A spate of calculations can take 1 to 2 days to run and costs millions of pounds. The vast supercomputer is housed in a bespoke room and has its own mini power plant to meet its enormous energy demands. Professor Coveney said, "We are using this computer's immense power because the human body is immensely complicated. Because the problems are large and computationally challenging, they rapidly get into an era where you need these supercomputers. If we start talking about the brain, most people would accept that it's probably the most complicated structure in the known universe. The things we're trying to do fall into 2 different categories, strokes and drug discoveries. The first involves simulating blood vessels inside the human body to see what might be implicated in a stroke and how we can treat it. Another strand of the work is actually doing automated drug discovery, which is trying to identify new compounds that could be useful for treating various forms of disease. The ultimate goal," he added, "is to create a completely virtual clone of a person which can be personalized and shared with doctors and other experts. It's not just for the negative things which relate when you're in a state of bad health," said Professor Coveney. "But it can be for other things you might be interested in, such as lifestyle choices and nutrition. It's fundamentally about having the data that relates to you and enabling you to run the simulations that will predict what-if scenarios specifically for you." Professor Coveney's book Virtual You, written with Roger Highfield, the science director of the Science Museum, will be released in the spring.